What were you going to say?
That just out of frame of the camera shot is a big pile of a mess of all your stuff?
Nah.
No, it is. You can see the sweatshirt. It's crept in.
Welcome to the Baer Show. We about to shoot the shit with an arrow. Got a lot of guns and I got a lot of questions. Gotta figure out every one of life's lessons.
If you could tell the story of your meteoric rise to prominence in the comedy community.
I mean, some would say that. I feel uncomfortable with the question.
All right. No. Well, I'll move on then.
Do you want
Israeli-Palestinian conflict?
Okay.
You got skin in the game. Who you got?
Who do I got winning?
Who you got?
I think when there's war, no one wins.
Was there ever a time where you were pro-war? Like post 9/11?
No, post 9/11, I was 5.
I mean, I was too,
yeah.
But I was still a war hawk.
Yeah, no, I wasn't no, I'm pretty much I mean, I don't want to say I'm a pacifist, you know. Is this a news podcast?
Bro, historically we get into it in this show.
Since World War II, the world has sort of felt more like we're not at risk of going to war all the time, and I think that's maybe more of an illusion than we would like to admit, especially easy to feel with what's going on in the world right now.
You know what's pretty crazy? You're my first POC on the show.
I'm not a person of color.
Dang it. Well, I guess it's back to the drawing board.
Yeah. I'm a soft minority.
Yeah. You're my first anything. Well, there was a girl last time.
Women.
So check.
And now, so yeah, you're really.
I'm just checking
out.
The boxes. Yeah,
but you're not doing it. Yeah, you're just doing it performatively.
Wait, like I'm like gradually. Like next episode will be like a Puerto Rican person and then a black person.
Oh, you're easing in the viewers. God,
I'm just messing around.
You think Jew is worse than woman?
They're all equal. That's just like the way like it was categorized in the chat GBT. When I asked, I want to interview someone from every race.
I didn't realize AI had such an influence on this podcast.
It's pretty much all that. All these questions are just AI generated.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing a really good job of making it seem like you came up with them.
I like to just ease into it, brother. Ease into it.
I might be too relaxed.
Yeah, I'll match you. Okay, this is good. I feel like I just want us to be like proportional and
lean forward.
Maybe you're just big.
This would be a crazy podcast.
Yeah. It's like we got a secret to tell the audience.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, let's not do that. Right. So you're riding Rand Barnacle's coattails, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just kind of really hoping things keep going well for him, and I'll just kind of keep, like you said, coasting off that, and just middling as a comic in general. Just not middling in spot on shows, not featuring, but middling like talent wise.
Yeah, just kind of like reach a plateau and then.
You have a good vocabulary, and it catches me off guard sometimes. Your dialect is sort of casual.
Well, usually I try to have a populist, like everyman appeal.
Yeah, of course.
Like Trump.
Oh, he's a role model for you.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as getting attention and compelling public speaking, this is his all-time gem for me. He said that President Obama is the founder of ISIS. Do we interlay clips in here, right?
We can. Yeah.
It's very fun.
Steven, you got to do it.
ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS.
ISIS is honoring President Obama.
President Obama.
He screams and then he stops screaming. And then he calls him the founder of ISIS. And that just crushes. And then and he goes, and the co-founder, I would say, everyone. And he goes, crooked Hillary Clinton.
Oh my God.
Man.
Bruh, it's a good thing I didn't go to any of those things, those rallies, because I'm sure if you're like there, you just get swept up in the energy, and then next thing you know, you're at January 6th.
Yeah. You think you would have been susceptible to the logic?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're at a Migos concert and like you're not even a Migos fan like that, but it's just like so lit that you're just watching these people on stage like these are gods.
Got to give a quick shout out to Pat for bringing the Donald Trump thing to my attention.
Oh, nice.
Our boy Pat Fiddler.
Pat, he used to live here.
Yeah, once upon a time. How long was that? 2 weeks? A week?
I think it was like 10 days. You had the black mold, right? So you moved in here. Pretty trying time for you,
It was a trying time for me. I was ill, and Stephanie Beans opened up his home to me and my brother Pat, and it was a kindness that, man, I could be too real right now.
Go ahead.
It's just Let
him know.
It was really, man. We needed a place to go, and he didn't hesitate, and it's something you can't really pay someone back for. Just something.
Oh, you can. And my Venmo is when you were exposed to the black mold. Do you feel like it impacted your physical fitness journey in a negative way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think in every way, it made it hard for me to build muscle.
Yeah,
which I'm now doing.
I mean, look at the guy
at a rapid pace, dangerously rapid pace.
Yeah, I heard you beat Planet Fitness.
Yeah, they said I can't come back anymore
because you've like maxed out what you could do with the dumbbell free presses, right?
No, they said I was yelling too much.
Ooh, really?
Oh, no.
You were being a lunk?
Yeah, I was being a lunk. No, I was just screaming. I was just kind of like, ah!
While lifting or
just whatever. Yeah. In the bathroom. I think I've seen the beginnings of progress. You know, you get the beginner gains or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've like consistently lifted, tried to eat a lot of protein and do protein powder and shit. And and I've completely changed my body in a way where women are wrecking their cars when I walk down the road.
Was that you? You backed up 71 the other night?
Yeah, I was walking on the side of the highway with my shirt off.
Oh my God. That's a good looking Jewish man. Whoa. It happens all the time.
God.
And you don't drink. How long have you not been drinking for?
A year and a half. I guess maybe a little more than that.
That's pretty sick. Do you remember the last time you drank?
Yeah, it was the Super Bowl of two Super Bowls ago.
Bengals and the Rams. Yeah. You drank that day.
I drank a lot. I drank like 6 or 8 beers, I think.
Really? And was that like a consistent thing up to that point? Or was this just a special occasion? Bengals are in the soup?
No, definitely was like a special occasion. But I was like having beers at all the open mics. You know, I'd have like 2 beers at the open mics. Or 4, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe once a month I'd like have 6 or 7 drinks and get kind of drunk. And then yeah, dude, I was just kind of knocking on the door of not doing it, and I was sort of just like, yeah, let me just see if I can stop. I was like, I think I'm the guy to stop. So I just did.
Yeah.
I'm not a hero, and I'm not a guy with a problem who's improved. So really, I haven't done anything impressive.
Yeah, but you know, it's you recognize maybe this thing is not giving me any sort of great benefit.
Yeah, I don't think it added to my life really.
Yeah, dude, I haven't had a drink in 10 days.
That's good.
10 days.
That rules. Is that a conscious decision?
Kind of. I just have been feeling like I don't need to like spend like just $20 on beer when I like go to Chameleon or whatever, or like not only the money but just like, you know, $20 of beer on my body the next morning and just like feeling just like a little bit less than you know, up and at 'em.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, dude, for me also, I would just have like a couple beers and then the next day I'd be like, I just don't feel like getting at it. Like, I don't want to say I was like depressed, but I'd just be like, yeah, let me just chill.
Yeah.
And it's like, it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be like that.
How was your bar mitzvah?
Got it ripped, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, I mean, we had a DJ. A bunch of girls from my class were there.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? We all rode a bus from the fucking synagogue to the hotel ballroom.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, it was great, dude. Finger food, unlimited soda, dancing.
Was that the only finger stuff going on?
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I always lament that I didn't get laid at my bar mitzvah. All the ingredients to get laid exist. You know, like, I mean, they make you the king for a day.
Yeah.
It's like a birthday party.
I want to go.
Yeah, you go, you're just like, well, it's just like everybody's watching you and talking about how great you are and clapping for you. And then you're like, you know, go to this party and you're being fun and everybody's eating and girls are like flirting with you. There's an open bar.
What's your favorite book of the Old Testament?
Exodus, obviously. No, I don't know.
I mean, Exodus does rip. Have you seen Prince of Egypt?
I like Genesis. I haven't seen Prince of Egypt, but I would like to watch that. I've heard it's great.
Wow. Dude. Jeff Goldblum, Sandra Bullock. What's the guy who played Batman?
Christian Bale,
Before
Michael
that.
Keaton,
Before that.
George Clooney,
Before that.
Adam West.
After that. Have you ever been to Israel?
Nah.
Any plans to go?
Yeah, I'm going this week.
Do you have any like conditions? You know, because the rap on Jewish people is like,
Yeah, weak genetics from inbreeding.
I was just gonna let you say it.
Yeah,
the rap on Jewish people is
we have weak genetics from inbreeding.
I didn't think that, but if you say so.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot of Jewish professional athletes. All the people that I grew up with that are Jewish have problems. I wouldn't say I have any specific health problem beyond the mold thing completely changed my life. So that's still ravaging me.
How did that change your life?
I don't know. It's just I'm just still like very sensitive to allergies and stuff like that. If I'm like in an old, dingy, musty building, I start to really feel like a piece of crap, even to this day. But you know, I haven't been to the doctor about it in quite a while, so whatever. We don't need to talk about this. But I feel like that does count as a Jewish health problem, even though maybe it wasn't my fault.
Do you eat shellfish?
Not for kosher reasons. I just don't really like seafood.
Respect.
So that's Jewish in its own way. Just being like, no, not for me.
Sorry, I'm so fascinated with Jewish culture. My dad wanted us to be Jewish growing up.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, we had Passover Seder growing up, and we would like read from like the pamphlet or whatever,
The Megillah.
the Megillah, and we would sing "Die, die, Enu,
Dude.
die, die, Enu." Did you ever find the Afikomen?
Tons of times.
Did you get money for it? Mm-hmm. I found it one
Why
year.
do you think I'm doing so well right now?
How much of your day-to-day expenses is covered by the Afikomen winnings?
Basically all of it. I mean, every time I found it, my parents would give me $100,000. It's always weird to me because my whole life growing up, I never really identified with being Jewish. Like I just feel like a person. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the older I get, the more I realize that I do like act in stereotypical Jewish ways. And I just kind of like, I feel like I don't necessarily connect with people who aren't like a little bit analytical or neurotic or like particular. I went on a date with this girl a couple months ago and we were out to dinner and I just having one of those nights where I could not decide what to get. Like I was just looking at the menu. I was like, yeah, I could just get a burger, but like I eat burgers all the time. You know what I mean? I'm here. I'm at this restaurant. Let me get something. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want pasta. You know what I mean? And so I said to this girl, I mean, yeah, and that's like obviously, you know, an insane thought process. I'm aware enough to realize that is kind of crazy to be genuinely stressed about that. But I just said to her, I was like, God, you ever just have like that thing of when you can't decide what you want because you're putting so much pressure on the meal? Like you're trying to have the perfect thing because you're like, oh, this is the big meal or something. It's like in 30 minutes, I'm going to forget this even happened. And she was just like, no. And I was like, well, this doesn't work. I need somebody who can at least get what I'm saying. I've really been open on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I'm glad. And usually I cut like a bunch of stuff. Sometimes I'm scared to show the world my true self.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been sort of thinking about that lately as far as like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, am I me when I'm feeling fully expressive and fully actualized as a person? Or is it also me when I'm struggling to feel that? You know, when if I'm feeling disconnected from everything, is that not just as genuinely me as when I'm feeling free?
There are moments where you feel more connected to the whole, easier to communicate with people. Like you're within like the flow of like whatever the cohesive energy is.
Yeah, no. That's what I would describe as being present. Like, you're with everybody in the room that you're in and you're listening and you're responding and you're not worried about how you're being perceived or anything that's like ancillary to the situation.
Yeah, you can definitely put yourself in that mindset if you're just like isolating yourself enough.
I just think, I think it's hard to be there. You wake up alone and then or I guess, most of us, or not most of us, I don't know, single people.
Us.
You wake up and you're by yourself and then you kind of like, you just spend your whole day in your head and then you show up to a comedy show. It can be hard to
Oh, yeah.
perform properly.
Do you meditate at all?
I have not a lot. I've spent time meditating in the past, but lately it's just something I keep saying I want to get back into it, and then I don't. I think it's cool. I don't even know if I'm really any good at it, but I do like just sitting there and counting my breath for 15 minutes.
I don't do that very often, but I will like wake up kind of early and just like stare at the sun rising over the horizon.
That's
just
good.
like a little time to be able to feel where like the flow of life is directing me.
Yeah, dude. Just get in touch with it a little bit.
Because I feel like it can like take you if you let it, and you're not like trying to over control everything and like be so like rigid with like this has to happen and like the sequence of events that I have in my head, or versus just like allowing it to take you where you need to go.
Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about that. Like, there's all kinds of opportunities that turn up and you find yourself being like, is this the right thing for me or is it not? I almost always find the answer is to just do something, like take a risk or whatever. If you've got some idea or thing, or you feel like you're being pulled towards something, just do it, because it's easier to go with the fucking flow than it is to stop something. And you can God, sorry, I just became self-aware. Yeah, and it's like you don't want to like do something that doesn't align with your values or whatever, but like, yeah, man, if somebody asked me to like be a part of a thing right now, like a project or whatever, I would almost definitely do it, as long as it was like somebody I wanted to work with. You know what I mean? Even if it, like I'm not sitting here like, oh, I'm trying to be a fucking actor or whatever. But like if someone was like, do you want to be in this thing? I would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that would probably be a good thing.
Oh, yeah. I think just doing things
Is good.